Greetings and salutations, everyone. This is yours truly, LL, the Crypto Investigator, making a bit of a comeback. It's been a while since I've done any form of investigations on the channel, and hopefully in the future I will have more time to do them. But today we're going to be talking about this very ongoing form of a scam when it comes to GameFi, and this comes in two different ways. So the method A is basically there's an existing game, whatever it's a non-blockchain one or a blockchain one, and then there is the scammer who basically copies the original websites, the videos, and basically creates new social media accounts and, imposes as a real project. And sometimes the other way is that there is no actual real project and there's just like random assets taken from the internet and them posing as a real game. And these are becoming more common. The most common victims are content creators like me who get contacted by these people and saying, we represent this gaming project here and we like you to do a video about it, yada yada yada. And sometimes people are also like contacted as in the form of, hey, you have been chosen for the private beta, or maybe if you recruit this many people you will get paid this much, and yada yada yada. There are different forms basically to do this, and the most recent one, which was happening today, was called Atmos Universe. And it looks like, this could be like a real legit website and a real gaming project and everything, but it turns out they might have like even some legit things, unlike scams. Like they usually like list a lot of like partners. Like some of them are real and some of them are not real. Like why GoingGecko would directly like sign up with a gaming project sounds kind of weird to me. And then like one of the key tells here, obviously from the very get-go, is like the Telegram. And when I open up the Telegram room, you can see that no, this is actually like a closed channel. So it's not a real one. You're not able to chat here or text anybody. Once you join it, you can't, there's no replying process here, okay? And that's like a fundamental problem, obviously. Like that's when when there's no way to communicate or talk to anybody except the posing developers, then it's fucking scam, okay? Or that was a very big signal for a scam, okay? They do have GitHub here and everything, and even a Medium page. They might even go as far as creating an OpenSea account. And this was like actually very convincing, but when you actually look into, there's only one asset here, and that might be even stolen. But you look into the volume, like how many transactions have actually been done. The part of the scam may be to basically sell out the NFTs as well. There's not really that many transactions here. And sometimes you have to look into, is it a one address that is selling to another one? Is it like, are these addresses actually connected to each other? Now, what actually happened is that the person that contacted me, he first sent an email, and I think it came from the actual domain. Sometimes these people use Gmail. The zeekdomains.cz is like a common scamming. I've like literally blacklisted the whole domain because the initials, because they always are scammers. And basically he's, I never like want to download a game into my, PC, because it's like it can be a phishing attempt. And basically it was a RAR file that he basically sent. We negotiated that, hey, I don't want to install the game, just send me the gameplay clips that I can use in my video. And it turns out that, well, first of all, like there's a typo. So if there's a typo, it might mean that the scammer might be from a third world country, usually Russia, Pakistan, anywhere that they speak poor English. Also have a kind of like a big correlation on whatever the scammers, like most scams in crypto space, are coming from Russia, they are coming from India, are coming from Pakistan, and some other sea and poor countries. I mean, yes, there are people from America who run scams too, but there are different like elaborate and different forms of scams that they usually do. Now, I actually went and opened the RAR file, and I found out that it was cleverly typed out, and it had a .scr in the ending. Like it had image.scr, and then they said, oh, this is just like a screensaver file. That's what they usually say. But fundamentally, this is actually what basically creates the malware on your PC, and they can basically access the data, the files, and well, it's pretty bad, guys, you know. And sometimes when you scan the files, it may not come out any virus results, which is problematic. So you can't really trust virus scanners, but that's something you should do. You know, scan the RAR file, scan everything. And then, obviously, the next thing you want to do is actually reverse search the IP address. And that's what I did. And everything here was basically like redacted for privacy. And, you know, normally people do that. But if you're a gaming company, there's not really a lot of reasons to do that. At least I can't really think of any. But I took out the IP address here, and I basically reverse IP'd it. One of the results that came out was a Monario with a .ru address, and that's like anything that has a Russia domain is like, okay, that's really sketchy. And this was basically this website does no longer exist. Apparently there has been different attempts of the domain name Monario and etc. And there was like a thread here. This is not in English right now, but because of the Opera that I'm using to show this, but basically this was flagged as a scam here. So this is a scam sign here for Monario.ru. Another search that I came for was, well, look at these. This is not even the full list. There's more than 3 domains here, and these are the 3. Collective Proof Club, I reverse searched this, and this was actually Proof Collective. So as I told you earlier, there are a lot of these projects which basically create a legit project or existing project, and then they just change the domain name and pose as that project. This site also has gone defunct, this domain, Elon Gift Space. I mean, how legit that can basically be. But those were basically scams as well. And that just shows you that, you know, usually scammers are like, they just don't do a one scam and then stop. They do multiple scams over and over again. That's how they make their money. That's how they make their living. There's not like this one big heist thing. I think that's pretty much an illusion, and something that I've, you know, on my previous investigations that I've seen that, you know, this is definitely, you know, the case where they just keep spamming different projects. And another one that was much earlier, and that back then when I was contacted by these guys, I was very prompted to do basically a video. I then ultimately decided not to do it, but there was one individual who I know from contact of a contact, so to speak, was scammed by these, and this was Xverse. I think the real domain is xverse.io, and this is like a copy of Fortnite basically. I don't know if the .io one is actually legit or anything, so just saying, but this was a one copy scam that was done. This was registered on RU, and now it has gone defunct. I don't remember when, but it probably was like a short run scam. So the thing is that there are a lot of these projects posing as games, and they're so easy to just get like footage from Unreal Engine these days, and there's so many like games on Steam that you can just like copy over, and there's low chance that somebody will like know, oh, that actual footage is from somewhere else, okay? Like this is not plagiarized basically. So there are a lot of these GameFi scams, and usually they ask you to download a file, and they come in different ways. So I earlier talked about like people who pose. I get a lot of emails. Here's the .cz domain. So here's there's a data file here, download this, blah blah blah. This is Light Night, which I've done a video on earlier, and basically, you know, they're posing as, but here you can see the Gmail obviously is not, this looks bad. And there are many of these types of scams, like sometimes they're NFTs, like posing as the atlas.cc is one of the most common ones. You know, these are not exactly directed to GameFi, but sometimes they do pose as, even as AAA companies, like Black Desert was one of them. And I remember when I got my first email like that, I go, oh, there's a big partnership. But then I was really disappointed that, oh, it was actually a scam. And, you know, there's like WhatsApp stuff, like definitely never go to WhatsApp when there's somebody like asking, like, that's a malware filled site. But that's kind of like what I have. Obviously, I have a previous video where I have gone into talking about what type of scams are, like how to identify scams, how to research scams, and etc. Like, you should definitely look into that. But I'm just saying to people that there's a lot of GameFi based scams going on right now. You definitely want to be very, very wary of downloading anything, absolutely anything. If it's not on like Steam or somewhere else reputable, I would never download it. It's very risky in this space. But that's pretty much what I have to say, guys. Hopefully we have prevented some scams ongoing. If you have any own experiences about GameFi style scams or other projects which I should investigate, you can express your mind in the comments. But until next time, as always, make sure to support the channel, make sure to like, share, subscribe, yada yada yada. And I will be seeing you in the next video. Cheers.